ready?
Let's get it.
Why not us?
It's not a question.
It's a statement.
Circles and stuff.
Yeah.
Just keep on going around. And this right here, where I'm at now in my life is like, hey, these cycles have to stop. Not saying that some of these cycles you might find yourself back into it.
Yeah.
But when do you make it stop?
That's a great question, bro. That's
when do you make it stop?
That's a really great question. I don't know if that was rhetorical or was you
I mean, it's
throwing me the alley-oop.
Take it over now.
I don't know, man. You know, you hear so many different ways, you know, people, you know, when you had enough.
Yeah.
But I've been in circles, so I know I've had enough, but I can't seem to get out of this circle. So, you know, just coming to that realization and putting forth some effort and working towards, you know, that circle like enough is enough. As it relates to the children of Israel, you know, a lot of them unfortunately died in the wilderness. Is that a fly? That's a fly, bro. We gonna keep flying though. A lot of them, you know, died in the wilderness, and man, the conversation, you know, you've been heavy in Exodus, you know what I'm saying, recently, and so I've joined you there, knowing that a lot of them didn't make it to the promised land because of that circle that they stayed in.
Yeah.
You know, and that's definitely a lot of people failures or not getting to or could have, you know, it's definitely, it should be a lesson for us. You know, your forefathers or your friends or people you've seen fail on this path should really encourage you what not to do. If you've seen somebody, you know, the effects of drugs, the effects of alcohol, the effects of having sex outside of marriage, unprotected sex, the effects of wasting money, the effects of wasting time. And so we can see just the children of Israel, how they wasted a lot of time in the wilderness complaining about Egypt, complaining about where they were, complaining about what was going on, going through these circles. And a lot of them didn't make it to the promised land because of them going in that circle. They died in the wilderness. And so, you know, as we talk a lot or kick it about, you know, from Egypt to wilderness to the promised land, just taking a look at that and unpacking that, you know, that motivates me to like, all right, it's been 10 months. We could have got to where we were trying to go in 2 months, but we've been in the wilderness and it's like, yo, I don't want to die here. You know what I'm saying? I do not want to die. I want to taste milk and honey.
Nah, that's real. That's real, for real. That's real.
Bro, I don't want to stay in the wilderness, man. So whatever I gotta do to get up out of this spot, like, bro, let's do it. And so that becomes motivation and a push to not go in those circles or to go round and round, you know, just stuck in the wilderness, man, for me.
And you had Moses leading them, angry, upset, and he let his anger and frustration make him miss the promised land. He was the one leading them, you know, and that's us leading the people and letting people frustrate us, letting people pull us back, letting people get in our ear, you know, keep us from getting to the promise that God ordained you, called you to be the person to say, hey, lead the way. And then people, like that's really all I can say, people, because that's what we're in these journeys that we've been going through. A lot of it been people. There's been people who's circling that circle with you.
But one of them people, I know that's grammatically, that's just it's real ghetto. But one of them peoples in that is you. That person that's a part of that people group is you. You talking to yourself. You saying things you having doubt. You complaining. You taking on. Because people can say things, but ultimately we open that door to that agreement, to stuff they may speak to us, say to us. We respond to that. So we still in control. It really, you know, we hear often the inner me is the enemy, you know, and so that in that group of people is the person.
That's true.
which is us.
It's us.
You know, we take on distractions because we're listening to sweet nothings. Because we're listening to you need this. Because we're listening to you don't have this. Because we listening to you this age. Because we listening to what it used to be like in Egypt. Because we listening to Lot's wife. Because we listening to, you know, man, don't go over there. It's giants. It's grasshoppers. You know, it's all this. We listening to all these things. Ultimately, it boils down. What? That's an old.
That's all right.
That's throwback. It boils down.
Your age kicking it down.
It boils down. It boils down to who you listening to. And ultimately, you listening to yourself. You know, those packages that show up at your door, you ain't got to sign for them. I had a bunch of mail, bro, that came when I moved here. It was a lot of mail that wasn't mine. I could have opened it up. I'll put on that mug, return to sender.